Hey, viewers, George here, and to do another George Talks About, where I talk about a game or a demo I've played, something that's very recent. Considering, it's really hard to get around to doing a review of something very recent and beating it when I take forever to beat it. Okay, that's not the point. The point is, I was playing a demo for a game that's going to be coming out, I think it's in May, and it's called Dragon's Dogma? I don't know how to actually pronounce it, because I didn't really get to look at the title that often, because I was more concerned about getting right into the game. But, obviously, if you've read the title of the video, you know what the hell I'm talking about. So, I was playing the demo, and going into this completely blind, the only information I was told about this game was from my sister's boyfriend, and he's always, like, talking about this game. And he's like, you gotta look at some trailers, George, you gotta look at this game. I'm like, yeah, I'll get around to that, whatever. So, eventually, he tells me that the demo's coming out. And I'm like, okay, well, perfect, I'll try the demo, it's better than watching a few videos. So the demo comes out, and I played it today, and it's actually a pretty interesting game. He hyped it up a little too much, though, so he wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be from what he told me. But here's what I'm going to tell you guys of what I've experienced from the demo, and possibly what might be in the full game, and some things I think will improve it. Anyway, so you get a few things you can do in the demo. One of them is you get to go through this story, or it's part of the main story, I'm assuming, where you play as this pre-made character called Azrin, or something like that, Arise, or some crazy ass name like that. But you play as this guy, and you're trying to kill this creature. I have no idea how to really explain it. It has like the head of a lion, a body of a goat, and then like for a tail it's a snake. It's really messed up. But I'll get into that in a second. So you play as this character, and he has to go and face off with this dragon, because fate says he has to face off with this dragon. Though fate sort of like says, win or lose, have fun, basically. So it's really weird, and that it tries to be very medieval in the sense of, like, how there's always like fate, destiny, and sort of that stuff, like, oh, your son will be going off and killing, the horde of incoming skeletons or some shit. I don't know. But it sort of tries to aim to do that, because your character is, like, fated for something. But it's weird how it does that. I'm just talking about this one part here. So, anyways, the game starts off with you going up to face this dragon, where you don't really know if you're going to win or lose. Obviously you're going to win, because the player always wins. So, you're with this guy, whose name escapes me, and I don't think he's all that important, but someone's going to prove me wrong. So you're with this guy, and you're just sort of traveling. You kill a couple of, like, goblin-esque creatures, and then eventually you get to this stone. And here's where the game gets a little interesting. You go to the stone, and when activated, you can request the help of pawns. And basically what pawns are, they're just other people who will just come along and help you. So you go up to the stone, and like you get two pawns, and one of them had to do with magic, like healing and enhancing weaponry and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure the other one was a ranger, like crossbows a bow and arrow, because crossbows would be silly. And you're just going out with swords, and the other guy's just going out with a sword. So you get these two pawns from the stone. It's that's pretty cool. I like that. It's interesting, but it doesn't really add up to much other than you get more people. And it's just sort of like, why didn't you just give me them from the start? Why I had to sort of like find them? So you take your little party, and eventually you kill a couple more goblins. You kill some of these, like, they call them these creatures. They look like bats, like feathery bats, and they call them harpies, which is weird because they don't look anything like a harpy. But that's just my little digression. So you come up to this beast, and it has like the head of a lion, the body of a goat, the snake's tail going out, and that's like the boss. Like each, from what I've gathered from just this section, each progression through this character's story has a boss at the end, which is in the form of a dragon, and you just have to defeat it. And it has quite a considerable amount of health, which it offers a bit of a challenge. But I mean, really, strategy wasn't really there, considering I'm playing like the hack and slash character, which means like you're forced to play the hack and slash character. So I don't know, maybe like you might be able to play other classes, which would be better for the quote unquote idea of strategy against these dragons. Because here's the thing. There's actually two things that makes this, I should say here. I don't know where I was going with that, sorry. So here's the thing. Basically all you have to do is just constantly bash the crap out of this thing. And maybe if you need it, you can go and get healed up by the medic or like the magician person. Because they're always constantly like throwing a healing spell down. It's like insane. And when they're not doing that, they're enhancing your weapon so like it can burn things. So you're basically always in the win-win situation. And here's the other really interesting thing. This is what I find really interesting about the game, is you can actually grab things. And I don't mean like how in Link like you can grab like barrels and throw them. No, I mean like, if you want, you can grab a person, use them as a shield, or drag them around. You can pick up various things and throw them. You can take enemies if you want, and you can throw them if you want, or like use them as a shield. That's really cool and a lot of fun, because I was trying to drag this one guy who clearly you could not kill, but I wanted to prove that game wrong. And yeah, never did. But anyways, what makes this game interesting using the whole grabbing feature is when you're facing off with dragons, especially the one that I was facing off with in this demo. Actually, the two of them that I was facing off with. I'll get to the other one in a second. But you could actually cling on to the dragon, so that way when it went to try and move more or like go in the air, you were following the damn thing. You were on it. You could just keep wailing your attacks in it. Some of the times, it's weird because like sometimes it's like, yeah, go ahead, you can go and attack the damn thing. Other times you just be clinging on it and you couldn't do a goddamn thing for some reason. And I don't know, if the game could explain why I wasn't able to do anything, that would be helpful. So at least I could try and fix it, because I was like, I'm clinging onto it and I'm trying to attack and nothing's happening. I'm like, okay, maybe I have to like move around or something so I'm in a good position. Nothing's happening. So I just get off and get on, and then I can start attacking again. I don't know, it's really weird. The other thing about grabbing onto dragons, sometimes it doesn't work. Like, it's an easy push of the button, or I should say you're holding it, the button down. But sometimes it doesn't want you to grab onto it, which is really random. So it's like, there's a huge random factor of whether or not you can actually grab on, and then on top of that, a random factor of whether or not you can attack while you're grabbing onto it. Nevertheless, though, it's a lot of fun when you're holding onto it and it's flying around. Okay. So you defeat the dragon, and then like the game's like, yeah, there's gonna be so much more considering you defeated the dragon, and that's where like that ends. Okay. From what I played from that, really fun. It'd be great if they expand a bit of the characters though, because like literally, I didn't care for any of the characters. Not even the character that you play as. Do you really get a sense of why you should really care about this guy's story? So hopefully that gets fixed in the long run. I'll get into another thing about the NPCs after I finish with my other experience in this game. Experiences. So, going down the menu, the next thing you can do is you can create characters. Here's the thing though. From what I've gathered from the demo, is there's going to be two different types of stories you can go through. There's the one with this character, Avroth, Arise, or whatever the fuck his name is. And then there is the story with a character that you've created. And the pawn. That's right, you get to create a pawn, which is pretty damn cool. So you get to create two characters. So, in the character creation screen, you don't get a lot to create with. Obviously, first off the bat, you have to name your guy. Actually, you gotta choose between girl or boy. That's standard. Then you name your person. Then they ask you to choose a monarchy or something for your character. I don't know why. It didn't seem to really do anything different, but it's just something. It's there. You have to choose it. Interesting thing about the various monarchies you can join, because there's a shitload of them. Since the game is made by Capcom, there's a lot of them that are like Capcom characters. So like you could be what I did is I was like under Dr. Wily because I'm cool like that. Mega Man and Bison. You got your Street Fighter characters in there. Any other characters? They have Frank there, but not entirely Frank West. And I was a little disappointed. Chuck there, obviously. Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins. I'm pretty sure there was a Dante, Zero, Neo. Capcom characters are there, basically. If you want to be under Chun-Li, fucking hell, you can be under Chun-Li or Dan or Ryu or whatever. So that's there. It doesn't do anything. It's just something gimmicky, I guess. It says, like, when players see you, they'll see this, which doesn't make any sense. Because I don't know if it has any multiplayer, because I couldn't find anything about it being with multiplayer. Because when you finish the demo, it doesn't really advertise the game that much more. Which is really weird. Okay, so getting more into the character customization. Basically what you do is you have to do just a basic editing, and then if you want to, you can do more detailed stuff, which they don't offer a whole lot there for you to work with. Because, well, I mean, you get your standard things, like you can change your eyes, the hair, you can mess around with how muscular they are and what their, like, color, the skin, the hair color, but there's not a lot to choose from. At first I wanted to make an anime character, like, crazy ass hair, with crazy color, badass. Couldn't do that, so I was a little disappointed. I was able to make something that sort of looked like me, sort of. So that's there. You can't have, like, there's no crazy colors for hairstyles or crazy colors for eyes. You can't have red eyes. What the hell? Same with the skin. I wanted to make my pawn a vampire. Lightest skin color isn't, vampire-ish. It's just like a very, like, pasty white tone. So I was a little disappointed about the character customization. On top of that, you don't really, as far as I know, you can't really do much with their clothing. Hopefully that might be something more in the game that they didn't really show off. Might be. But, yeah, so the character customization was a little lacking. I was a little disappointed. More or less. Okay, so the other campaign you can play, or the other mission you get to play, is with the character that you've created. And, basically, you start off and they drop you, and it's like, fucking kill this, what is it? Shit. I had a great lead up and I fucked it up. Griffin. Fucking kill this Griffin. So, you got this Griffin that's just flying around this open field that you're in, and you have to kill it. And you have the pawn that you've created. Obviously, you're there, and then 2 other randoms. And, it's like, yeah, have fun. And more or less, same things apply as to the other one. Like, I had to get healed up more, so I don't know if that means, like, my rated character sucks or something like that. But he was using daggers, and he had a bow, like a bow and arrow on his back, but I couldn't figure out how to switch the weapons, because that would have helped. That would have been great if I could, because the goddamn Griffin is constantly flying in the air, and the rare times you get it down on the ground, it doesn't take long for it to shoot back up in the sky again. So, I don't know. Maybe it was there for design. Maybe I don't even know how to do it. Maybe the demo wouldn't let me. But that was there. Griffin wasn't that hard. That's where he gets more of the hanging on while it's flying around and you're stabbing it. Actually, my pawn threw my character at the freaking Griffin, so I could cling onto it and stab it. And they're like telling me to aim for the wings. I'm like, I can't. I'm stuck on the leg. I don't know. But from what it seems like is depending on where you attack the characters. Sorry, not the characters, the enemies. Depending on where you attack the enemies seems to, like, hinder it a little more, because my party was eventually taking its wings out, and it wasn't flying as much. It was sort of just like taking off and like moving a little further from us. So that's Dragon, Dogum, Digum, Dog, Dig Dug, whatever the freaking title says it is. I don't know what to expect from this game. Standard action adventure. I didn't really see any RPG elements in it, so I don't know. Maybe that's something the demo didn't show. Character customization's there. Not all that great though. It seems like there's going to be two different stories. Judging from the one where I was facing off the Griffin, the character customization one, the character created one, I should say, that campaign seems to be a little more open compared to the other one that's following the Avroth A-Ray's character, whatever his name is. That's to be determined though, because I think the demo doesn't really show you that much. It's like 1.5 gigabytes to download, but yet it doesn't have that much in it. It looks nice. I think that's where most of the gigabytes are coming from, is how it looks. It looks very grimy and gritty, but when you're outside it looks very colorful and vibrant. So, it's trying to... I want to say it looks very... Like, the graphic style sort of reminds me of Dark Souls, but I might be lying. It's been a while since I played Dark Souls. Okay, so what else do I have to say about this game? Hopefully... Oh yes, the NPC thing. I gotta talk about this. This might be like a hinder... This might like be a breaking point for a lot of people, because it almost was for me. I swear to God, the NPCs, they don't shut the fuck up. There's a lot of times what will happen is they'll start talking over one another, and especially during the A-Ray's his story mission thing that I was doing, there's this one guy that has more to do, like he's talking more about what the plot's developing, and then like the other two, the pawns, wouldn't shut the fuck up, and they were talking over top of him, so I didn't know who the hell to listen to. And on top of that, what the game does is, off to the side, it'll show like the various dialogue that each character's saying, which is a bit more of a godsend, but I don't know whose name belongs to who. I didn't get a chance to attach to any of these characters to know their names. Hell, I don't even know the freaking main character's name, let alone the NPC's name. So that might bug you. I didn't, which is weird, is I didn't find it too much of a bother in the character created story, but then again, that only gives you a boss compared to where I had to travel a little more with the other one. So NPCs are a bitch, and you'll see a lot of them. Like, next to your party, who always talks, there'll be characters that are off to the side that will have to say something to you. Usually they have a party with them who also never shuts the fuck up. It's like a never being quiet thing. It's weird. Things I hope to see in the full game, considering I haven't actually looked at anything else for this game other than playing the demo. Multiplayer. It seems like they're hinting at a multiplayer, considering they're including that monarchy thingy mabobbers. So hopefully that there's an implication, of multiplayer. That'd be pretty cool, because I can see multiplayer working really well with this system, especially with the pawns. You could use like a drop-in, drop-out sort of system, quote-unquote. So that'd be really cool. Also, it'd be interesting if maybe you could unlock more things for the character customization, because like I said, very limited to what you get. And a lot of the times you'll be looking at going, like, you could create males and females with long and short hair, but that's about it. So that might deter people from actually wanting to play. Because I was really, when I saw them, like, yes, character customization for the win. Now I'm thinking not so much. So that's my first impressions of Dragon thingy, whatever the game's called. Will I get it when it comes out? I'll look into it. If I do get it, you'll see like a better first impression on it, other than just what I think from the demo. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Yes, I'll see you guys next time, and keep on gaming.